Everyone's always looking for hacks or the easy way to get something done. Well, what if I told you there was a way to increase your 401k contributions without affecting your take home pay whatsoever? Would you be interested in that? I would sure hope so. The first of the year is coming around the corner, and this would be a perfect time to implement the strategy that I'm going to tell you guys about today. So grab a pen and paper and make sure you write this down. What I want you to do is to take a portion of the raise that you will hopefully get in 2020 to start the year and put that into your 401k plan. So let's look at an example. Say you get a 3% raise. So instead of increasing your lifestyle with that 3% raise, what I want you to do is to take 1% of that 3% raise and put in your 401k plan each and every paycheck. By doing this, you just increased your 401k contributions and actually increased your take-home pay as well. Magic, I know. In addition to this, what I want you to focus on in 2020 is how much you're contributing to your retirement plan and not what all the noise in the media about is going on with the markets, politics, news, Twitter, and the Federal Reserve raising or lowering rates. The person who will have the most at retirement time is the person who saves the most today. Your savings rate is one of the biggest factors that goes into your retirement nest egg. Focus on what you can control, which is your savings rate. I get people who roll their eyes at me all the time when I say I want your goal to be to save 20% of your income for your retirement. So I want to clarify this a little bit and make it an attainable goal that you can imagine in your mind. This should be a future goal first and foremost, not an immediate today goal. I had the pleasure to hear James Clear speak last week at our company banquet, and he talks about getting 1% every day and how doing that over time creates a huge change and improvements 15, 20 years down the road. So let me transfer that into the idea that we're talking about today, retirement savings. If you were to simply save 1% more each year from your raise that you get every year from your employer, and if you were to do that for 20 years, you'd be at 20% in savings if you started at zero. Small additions each year to your savings rate will lead to significant savings rates in the future. I really want to stress this idea to you. Do not take all of your raise in 2020 and simply increase your lifestyle. To add a new streaming service or buy new clothes or take a vacation, for an example. Take a portion of that raise and increase your 401k contributions at work. Your future self will thank you for that. In closing this up, I want to look at an example. Let's say we got Jerry over here and Todd over here. Now they each make 50 grand a year, and they're going to make 8% on their investment return each and every year. Now Jerry, he's a very good boy, and he saves 10% of his income. In 30 years, he'll have about $625,000. But over here we have Todd, who only saves 8% of his income. Well, after 30 years, Todd will only have a little over $500,000. That 2% difference between these two guys created a money-wise difference of $125,000, which would be about 25% more for Jerry. But just think of what Jerry's account would have been if he had been able to save 20% in his retirement account for a portion of those years instead of just 10. Small additions over time can create huge changes in the amount of money you'll be able to save for retirement. It will take time for you to be able to save 20% of your income. So simply try to add 1% each year with your raise and do that till you hit 20%. If you have found any of this helpful at all, I would encourage you to share this with a friend today.